मैं एचपी कुमार जी को रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि वो हमें एड्रेस करें। थैंक यू।
Respected Avinash Dalal ji, our other distinguished friends sitting on the dais, Maradio sir, Chandrakant ji, Mr. Sunil Toh, senior banker sitting in the dais, Mr. Kansale, who is the chairman of the Central Bank, my colleagues, Mr. Hemraj Singh, Mr. Suresh, other distinguished delegates, a very good morning to you. Well, I am quite happy and personally very satisfied having come here and joined this program. In spite of a lot of constraints that I had personally, but the appeal and the request of Mr. Dalal is so intense that nobody can say no to him. I have my annual general meeting today in Delhi, and you know the limitations that one has with organizing and holding the AGM. But having committed to Dalal sir, I had no option but to come over, and after that, this program. Well, I have seen many associations. We have more than 100 associations in India, MSME associations, because the sector is very huge. Mr. Sunil mentioned about, I think, how much, 25 million or 23? 2.5 crores, 25 million, but the latest data indicates that it has gone up, including the informal sector. If you take the latest census, it has gone up to 40 million units. 40 million micro, small and medium enterprises. But the majority, more than 90% are micro. And also more than 90% are informal, which are not registered. So it's only 10%, about 30 lakhs. Small enterprises, micro and small enterprises and medium enterprises which are registered. So this is a big challenge. Informal sector is also contributing a great deal to the national. Sunil mentioned the employment creation that the MSME sector has done. As per the latest data that I have is 10 crore people have been employed by this sector. 10 crore. 100 million. That is what our ministry has been now giving that information. This is the second largest employer after agriculture. How this sector has grown and what have we done, to the growth of this sector? Have we done really so much that in the industrial policy we have promoted this sector? Have we done so much that this sector has created so much of employment? The limitations that the sector has in dealing with labor related issues, the issues of inadequate availability of finance. He mentioned about the classification of non-performing assets. That is one problem. He mentioned about publication of photographs and the details of defaulters. That is another problem. But the bigger problem is availability of finance, the cost of finance, the time that it takes to get the funds. I am not talking I'm not hinting at or indicating that there is a fault of the banks. I'm not saying at all, because banks have their own limitations. Banks have to safeguard their own interests also after they are dealing with depositors' money. The whole ecosystem, I'm talking of the ecosystem. What has prevented us in making the ecosystem so favorable that the banks would come forward of their own and the small enterprises, micro enterprises, the startup enterprises would be happy to get that funding in time, at proper cost and at the required level. There is a mismatch. Now somebody has to do that correction. The Prime Minister's task force was set up about 4 years back. And I can tell you, if you read the task force recommendations, the Ministry of MSME had initiated setting up of the task force. I hope Mr. Nair is available today, because he chaired that task force as Principal Secretary to the Honorable Prime Minister. If you implement those recommendations, there is no need to hold any more conferences in the country. You have so much of recommendation, it's so thorough. Under every issue, whether it is labor, or it is technology, or financing, or exports, or exit policy, or exchanges, listing, private equity, limited liability partnerships, or factoring, or timely payment of dues, raise any issue, startups, any issue, and it is covered. And there is a specific recommendation, because I was involved along with that, report. Mr. Dinesh Rai, who was the secretary at that time, was also likely to come today, but he phoned me, in fact, day before yesterday, that probably there is some limitation that he is not able to visit. So what? I mean, it is not that you don't know or we don't know or he doesn't know. We all know what are the issues, what are the problems. The problem is, the constraint is we are not heading towards solutions. I don't know what is preventing. The ecosystem is as is standing. You know the problems. I did not tell you here from this dais that this is the problem and we must do it like this. No, that is not my intention. I hope you all are entrepreneurs, either entrepreneurs or stakeholders in the MSME sector. We are also working with the MSME sector for a long time, either from the policy level in the ministry or from the execution level at NSIC. People like Mr. Kansale, who have been dealing with the whole country's sector, they know what are the problems, what are the issues. Well, there is a persistent need to shake the system. Whether it is the labor laws, or it is banking, or it is technology providers, or it is regulatory bodies for registration of the enterprises. Take the case of informal sector. 90%, as I said, more than 90% are informal. They are not registered. They are not getting any facilities. They are not even considered by the banks for giving any funding support or for any other assistance by the government under any of the programs. They can't supply to the government. They can't. Why can't we register them? By simplifying the registration procedure and bringing them to our formal sector. There is a specific recommendation that DICs, district industry centers, who are responsible to register these micro and small enterprises, have virtually become defunct, if I may use that word. the role and responsibility which was given to district industry centers when they were set up in 1976-77 probably. Where is that work being done? Why can't in a district where the district industry center is located, maybe thousands, 5,000, 7,000 informal enterprises, 10,000 informal enterprises which are working in that district can be mapped and they can be invited with simplified procedures, because those people who are running their small, roadside shop or something, they don't have time to go to registration office and fill up the forms and then do various rounds and complete the formalities, and they don't know the benefit also of this. How will they benefit by doing this registration? This is at the execution level. Who has to do it? Everybody keeps advising, you should do this, you should do that, I will help you. The problem is the people who are responsible for execution have to really come forward and do it. Everybody has been given a role. We have been given a role. It is my responsibility that whatever role has been given to us, our organization, we must do it to the best possible way. And if anyone in the country has any problem and complaint, we should do it. MSME sector is so fragmented in the country, and there are so many stakeholders in the country who are responsible for providing help and inputs and support, that somewhere or the other the gaps are emerging, and they have emerged. There is a lot of work which needs to be done at the state level. Now, infrastructure provision and power registrations have to be done at the state level. Funding has to come from the banks, finance. Regulatory issues have to come from the MSME ministry. Subsidies and assistance and marketing support programs have to come from state as well as central assistance. So all these, and there are then other ministries involved. There are various ministries involved who are dealing with the MSME sector. Labour Ministry involved in dealing with labour issues. Now from MSMEs, we are facing problems. We know the problems of the MSME sector. The Prime Minister's task force has given specific recommendations that this is what needs to be done in improving the labour issues, and which are not basically related to changing the laws, basically compliance issues. For example, the small industry has to fill up 35 forms for complying with 35 laws. Why can't one consolidated form can be filled up, and that too, instead of monthly, it can be done on half-yearly or quarterly basis. Instead of getting it certified from various sources, chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, legal, it can be done self-certified, and you can check maybe 5-10% if you really want that people are not honest enough to give their declarations. Some percentages can be checked, like Income Tax Department has implemented over the years. It will reduce the compliance time, it will reduce the compliance cost, it will make the life of the small industry easier. When I started my address, I was hinting to that. Have we helped enough the MSME sector to grow? My personal opinion is that the restrictions have been more than the help. There have been more of restrictions. We need to remove these restrictions, that's all. Even if we don't give any subsidy or grant or let the entrepreneurship grow. Let these first generation entrepreneurs, young people who are sitting here, at least think of something, starting an entrepreneurship, a business, without any, restrictions imposed from various quarters. Funding support, of course, is one of the requirements. Funding is very essential for any business enterprise. And although government has advised banks that there should be increase in funding support to the MSME sector, not less than 20% year-on-year growth, with some other sub-targets for funding to the micro enterprises, that the total funding of 60% should go to the micro, and there should be increase in number of accounts also by 10% every year. But the latest figures that we have analyzed indicate that more than half of the banks have not been able to implement and reach these targets, particularly with regard to new accounts. So that shows that the new enterprises are not being helped, or they are not being set up. I mean, it could be either. Either the new enterprises are not coming up. It could be for various reasons. People are not encouraged, they are not motivated, they find a lot of restrictions, problems. If you ask somebody that why don't you set up a business enterprise, he says, I don't know first of all how to start a business enterprise. I have no idea about it. What should I start? And then the host of problems that he perceives, कि पता नहीं क्या क्या करना होगा इसके अंदर, कितने approvals लेने होंगे कितने. If we have a system, single window, with all facilities, I saw it in many countries. They have only one place where you go and register your company. All things will be tied up there in the same hall. There are 6 people sitting on different counters. You start in the morning at one counter, by evening you get everything in place and start an enterprise. This is not very impractical, what I am talking about. Is it impractical? We started an incubation program, Mr. Sunil mentioned. We have set up 72 centers in India. We are setting up almost 11 now. It is the 11th center that we decided day before yesterday in Africa. There are a lot of countries from Latin America, CIS, they are asking us to replicate that incubation program. It's a rapid incubation program. It's a very innovative model. But there is nothing which is rocket science. It's all putting in place various things together. As I was mentioning that the fragmentation has to be joined. There are various facilities available at various places, you join them together. Fix the whole thing. It becomes a rapid incubation. You provide machine there, you provide fund there, you provide training there, you provide marketing linkage there, you provide raw material there, you provide labor activities, you provide approvals. Now what is that? All these things joined together becomes a incubation. So there is nothing, which is so difficult, but the outcome is tremendous. We have a target of skilling 500 million people, 500 million people by 2025. 500 million people to be skilled by 2025, or it is 22. I'm missing that here. I mean, I sometimes feel that today they are unskilled. So they are they don't have any voice. Because they are unskilled, they don't know. They get whatever job they can on local basis, daily basis, contract basis, they can get the job. The moment you skill them, they will become demanding that they should be given the job. Why have you given the skill to them if you don't have the jobs? So I don't say that you don't empower them. Skilling is of course very essential. But there has to be a ratio. If you skill 500 million people, you should create new jobs to absorb them also. And new jobs can be created by setting up new enterprises. And new enterprises can be set up in large scale only by the MSME sector. Because corporate sector, large industries, large corporates, the percentage of formal jobs is only 10%. It's only 10%. 90% jobs are in the MSME sector and other sectors, of course, agriculture and services. So, MSME sector can create jobs which of course will be able to absorb the people who are going to be skilled. And incubation or new startups have to be given top priority. Top priority. I don't say that expansion of existing business enterprises to make them competitive, export oriented, to face international competition, grow within the country will also be helpful, because in any case expansion is very natural and is needed for the country. They will also create jobs. But new startups should be the top priority. And the recommendations in the Prime Minister Task Force are also there for how to expedite, how to fast track setting up of the new startups. Our friend mentioned about the non-performing NPAs and the consequences of NPAs and the changes which are required. Let us not worry about NPAs in the MSME sector. At least I am not worried. You will be surprised, because the perception of the banking sector and the whole government and the public is that NPAs with the MSMEs, micro and small, is risky and too much. Let me give you some figures which I read recently. It was published, of course. And of course then I verified from the RBI website. When I read these figures, the total NPAs were 1,78,000 crores. Total NPAs of all the banks. It's about 6 months back. Today it is 2,38,000 crores. I am talking of 1,78,000 crores when I read the other figures also and checked. Out of 1,78,000 crores, the NPAs of the entire MSME sector was only 33,000 crores. 33,000 crores out of 178. And the employment creation by the MSME sector is 5 times of the corporate sector. So if you relate this, why are we worrying about NPAs in the MSMEs and not about the others? If you worry about NPAs, NPAs are a problem. I don't say NPAs are not a problem. NPAs are a problem across the board. Let us not single out the micro, small and medium enterprises and say that micro, small and medium enterprises are the risky borrowers, and we should be extra careful. Take more time. That is what I am hinting at. Only 33,000 crore out of 1,78,000 crore. I don't know what is the ratio today. 1,78,000 has grown to 238. I think Mr. Kansale will be able to give you that figure. But the ratio would be, I think, similar. First 10 borrowers, there is another figure. First 10 large borrowers who were defaulters, first 10 large NPA borrowers. The list was also given in the newspaper. I think it must be there. You know what was the total NPAs of those 10 groups? 38,000 crore. 38,000 crore. And how much was total NPAs of the entire MSME sector in the country? 33,000 crore. And we keep talking about only NPAs in the MSME sector. While I do appreciate that there should not be NPAs, even from MSME sector also. And that is the reason that the government started Credit Guarantee Fund Trust to provide guarantee to the banks up to the extent of from the 80-85%, 75 to 85%, depending upon the nature of borrower, for giving guarantee up to loan of 1 crore, because more than 95% cases are less than that 1 crore limit. That is the additional comfort which is given by the Government of India, which is not given in case of corporates. So we should change that mindset. My request to the bankers would be, change that mindset. You have additional security available, additional guarantee available from the government, and still we are worried about taking decision about the MSMEs. So that is another issue which I thought. I was quite comfortable with very happy about the issues that have been covered here. One such issue which appealed to me, which is a very innovative issue, is discussion about the currency and
Commodities.
commodities exchanges. I was quite impressed with that. Quite impressed. This workshop is not only for discussion of the rhetorics. This workshop, I realized, is really going to empower the small enterprises, micro enterprises, by giving you information on innovative, subjects. Yesterday only the MCX people came to me. And they mentioned, MCX is the multi-commodity exchange, I hope you are aware. They deal with this currency and commodities hedging and trading, forward trading. And they requested that NSIC should help MCX in spreading the awareness about the benefits which are available to the MSMEs in hedging their risks. We discussed about an hour. And today I found this issue was being discussed today in this workshop. I really compliment you, Mr. Dalal, and the team, that you are much ahead of many others. When I was mentioning that we have more than 100 associations in the country, that is the difference I was talking.